You're now rocking with the best. Central Florida's own 2-Minute Drill podcast with Blackjack, Carl Jones, Roro Cruz, and James Perry. Talking about all the things you care about. Unscripted, uncensored, and unfiltered. It's the 2-Minute Drill. Listen.
Yes. Welcome once again to a 2-Minute Drill. I'm your host, PJ Jack, a.k.a. Blackjack. To my left, we have Roro Torres today.
I'm changing my last name.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a running thing. You know, I got my brother to her left, Carl Jones.
How you doing?
And then we have a special guest with the group today, my boy, my brother for quite a while, host of the TJ Chatman Show, TJ Chatman.
Man, what's happening? Thanks for having me, sir.
No problem. Looking smooth with the hair. I already told him, I said, he's going to come with a fedora. Yes, I said, he's going to come with a fedora. He's going to come looking smooth. Fam, it's great to have you on the show. I mean,
thanks for having me, man.
I remember when I was on your show, that was like 4 or 5 years ago, you know what I mean? And from what it was then to what it is now, you know what I mean? Like it's good seeing, you doing well, another brother doing well, man. I love it.
Absolutely, man.
You know what I mean? So, just tell us about the show right quick.
Man, listen, man, it's just been a blessing to be in this position that I'm currently in. And, building a brand, which is the TJ Chatman Show, it has opened up so many doors, remaining humble. And the main thing is staying consistent with what you do. Because a lot of people say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but they never stay consistent. And they wonder why things fail. And then they want to point fingers and blame other people like, So I'm just grateful that, I had a upbringing to remain humble, do the things that you love to do, stay consistent, and not worry about what other people say, because at the end of the day, your life is your own. You don't live for other people's approval, even though some people would say otherwise. But
right.
At the end of the day, your decisions is your decisions.
Right.
And so with the TJ Chatman Show, it's just, have opened so many doors and have allowed me to, be amongst a lot of, other different, celebrities such as, Tom Joyner, Ricky Smiley, D.L. Hughley,
okay,
Shanice. I mean, the list goes on, man.
Right.
And it's just been amazing, man. And I have a saying, the best is yet to come.
Right. You have said that before. And like I said, it is a blessing to see you grow, because I've seen you where you was just really trying to start and find your niche and everything. And then, just constantly following you, coming on your show, like I said before, and then just watching you blossom and do your thing and get the recognition that you work so hard for. And the one thing that we say a lot, is consistency.
Right. Yes.
We all, you made a point about, people are going to talk. They're going to talk for numerous reasons, yep. And sometimes, when they talk negative, that's a lot louder than the positivity that you're going to see, or that you're going to hear, So for us being the new kids on the block, it's great having you on the show. And it's good, to see you how you move, lay a platform for us, so we could put forth, a sound, our own sound as well, because we are going to be a little different, you know what I mean? And we're probably going to kick your show off sometime down the line. No, I'm just playing. You know me, man.
Listen, we and you said one thing, on the football field is one thing that we always talk about is consistency.
Right.
And as long as you're consistent, things are going to happen on its own.
Right. That's a great point. We was going to start off this show, we want to with nothing but like energy and whatnot, but we did have a brother go down, I believe it was this morning, and we want to say rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins.
Oh, man.
I believe he was 24 years old,
yes.
turning 25. He died in a fatal car accident. He got hit by a car down South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Had a promising career. He was getting there.
Yes.
And it's always sad to see someone go, but it's especially sad when they're so young.
Yes.
And they're full of promise.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, we don't know when God's going to call us home. So
exactly.
When it's our time, it's our time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even though his loved ones, are hurting right now, our prayers are with them. Right. We will let them know. Hopefully, there's some comfort knowing that he's with God, and
yes.
And there's no pain, there's no stress no more.
And one thing I want to expound on that is that most tragedies that happen you know, especially with, you know, celebrities, whether you're, you know, athlete or, you know, musician or whatever, they give out details of what happened.
Right.
And I'm reading the story, and it just says he was killed in a car accident. He got hit. Not even a car accident. He got hit by a car.
Hit.
So one, you know, you have to think like, how did he get hit by a car?
Right.
Where was he at?
Right.
Like to not see it, you know, especially if you're an athlete and, you know, you've been dodging DB, linebacker, and you know, and you can't like move out the way from a car.
Yeah.
So the details to me not being surfaced tells me something else may have really happened, and, you know, not to put it out there, but once it does come out, it's probably gonna be like, man.
You know, the thing is, you know, speculation's hard, man. You know what I mean? You don't want to speculate, you know. And the majority of the time when you speculate someone else's issues or situations, whatever, you're wrong. You know, that's why, like, when I hear like a news source say something, I'm like, all right, let me wait. Let me wait. Like, check this out. So I'm at work, all right. You know, I build, you know, rockets and whatnot. You know what I mean? So it's a very conservative bunch of people I work with, right? I mean, Fox News all day, every day. You know what I mean? News One Max, whatever they call it, News Max all day, every day. So they're talking about a video because they just had President Obama on to commemorate, you know, Obamacare, right? So he was in the White House and he was with Biden and they're joking around, palling around, you know, old times. And these guys are like, PJ, oh, did you see Joe looking like he had dementia and all that stuff? I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, and they were like, well, there's videos of him walking around and everybody's turned their backs to him and he looks lost and, you know, he just looks like, you know, he's just lost his marbles. And I'm just like, I said, it's a clip or it's a whole video? It was like, it's at least 5 minutes. And I was like, there's no editing, there's no nothing. It was like, no, PJ, you know, he just looks bad. You know, he can't talk. So that night, I forgot all about it. You know what I mean? So that night, I go home and then I read that there was a video editor at Fox News that cut up the clip.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And put it in a 2-minute clip. So it wasn't even 5 minutes like they said it was. It was 2 minutes. And I look at the clip and I'm like, man, come on, man. So I go to work and I'm like, dudes, I said, didn't I tell you, you know what I mean? Don't just believe what you see. And he was like, well, how could they edit it? Like, dude, I edit videos all the time.
All the time.
You know what I mean? I mean, and I make some nice edits. I say, imagine having, you know what I mean, the resources to make Hollywood type edits.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't understand how they could do it. I'm like, dude, you don't want to believe it. I said, it's okay if you don't want to believe it. Just say that I'm gonna believe what I want to believe. At the end of the day, you're gonna believe what you want to believe, right? But stuff like this is where we come as a country, right? Facts is taking the back seat, and now it's opinions. You know what I mean? It's a tough situation that we're in right now because now I'm looking at my child who's only 2 going on 3, and I'm like, man, if we like this right now,
like,
you know what I mean? Like I can only imagine what we're gonna be like when he's older. You know what I mean?
Opinions and feelings, brother.
Well, you have kids. You both y'all have kids. Speak on it. You know what I mean? I mean, how was, like, where were we when your kids were younger? Where were we as a country to where we're now? Like how difference?
It's just access to the internet, man. So this social media thing, it puts us where we are, where you go to work and you hear people, you know, speaking on what they see and not speaking on what they know.
Right.
If that makes any sense, right? So I can see something, but if I'm not there and understanding what's going on in that situation,
right,
physically there, hearing what's going on, and pulling out the actual information and processing it into facts, of course, I'm gonna say, yeah, his back was turned to everybody. Well, he probably was just giving Obama time to interact with the people around him.
Pretty much that's what he was doing.
He is the president of the United States.
Right.
So he's allowed to sit there and allow one of the ex-presidents to interact with everybody in the room and not care about anything because he's sitting president of the United States. So nothing is going to change that fact.
Right. You know what I mean? So
Right.
And I know, bro, I know you got a bunch of girlfriends that just talk with no facts, because that's what y'all do. You know what I mean? So you go. So since you in the beehive, explain how. Yeah, give us like an insight when it comes to the female aspect on just what do you call it, when you what's it called, a vine tree,
Grapevine.
The grapevine. Yeah, the grapevine.
That's
Grapevine.
That's back in the 1900s.
Yeah, that word was made by females.
1900. Yeah. Oh wow.
That is that instinct, huh? That we have, maybe.
I guess.
Well, I have
They call
one
it intuition,
Carl's
women.
friends.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
On your post, she asked a question about monogamy.
And who was that?
Oh snap! That's a grapevine right there.
Yeah.
That's a great rhyme right there.
Rosa y la raza, and I hope I'm saying your name right.
Say it again.
Rosa y la raza.
Oh, okay.
It sounds
I
right.
thought she- I
It sound
thought-
right the way it rolled
I
off.
thought she said Selena y los Dinos. But, you know.
Anyway, she's wanting to know, how about monogamy in the world today? It seems like some people are really struggling with that. What do you think?
All right. So,
Yeah, love doctor. What do you
So
think?
I don't think it's more so of struggling with it because, we've been conditioned, in America to, have one partner. So you go over to the Middle East, they have 12, 15 different other
Right.
partners. And it's like totally okay. And so, sometimes people put it, religion in it and saying, have, cleave to one wife, cleave to one husband, da 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 da. So it's more of personal belief. So the reason why I feel people are struggling with it is because they truly feel that people have different loves for different people for different reasons. Not one person can give you 100%. Now, some may give you 80%, some may give you 70%, whatever, because no one's going to give you a full 100%. And sometimes people will say, you know what, you complete me 100%. I say you're lying.
Right.
Because that's why sometimes people step out or, cleave to this person here because they're getting that from this other person. We've all know about the 80-20, 20-80 rule.
100%.
And it's like, this person not giving you this, and then you run into somebody that's giving you what you're missing. And it's kind of like, wow, you mess around and they say slip up, but it's not a slip up. It's just like that's what you just grew accustomed to, and that's what you love. So once you're able to become one with yourself, self-love, and understand who you are as a person, then things will be more easier and be transparent about it because there's somebody out there for you. Because we sometimes look at a person and be like, yeah, I like her. Dang, I like him. And not realizing that, hey, they only surface so much.
Right.
They can all still do the same thing, but it's that one person that's going to complete you.
Right.
And that's the reason why a lot of the times we struggle. A lot of the times we, they say, oh, you cheated or you tipped out and had an affair. Is it really an affair? It's just more important that somebody caught your attention that you're not getting at the crib.
That makes sense. And I would say it's going off of expectations. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's a good one.
Everybody goes into these relationships nowadays it's going into relationships via social media or
Yes.
a app, like Tinder or whatever. Go find me a woman, whatever
Right.
it is, right? And they're going into
Christian
these relationships with huge expectations and with a list of check this box,
Right,
check
right.
this box,
This,
check
yep.
this box, right? And once these people hit those boxes, they're forgetting about the person. There's
Right.
no true identity
Identity.
within the list of things that they want out of a person.
It's called red flags.
Super red flags, right?
Yeah.
And so when it comes to that monogamous thing involved in that relationship, it's never discussed up front. It's never like acknowledged thing. Hey, I want to solely be with you, and we'll work through anything that we've come
right.
through. And a lot of people just go in it like, oh, you're a good guy, let's date. Okay, we got this, but you're lacking. I don't want to hurt your feelings, so I'm not going to tell you anything. But either it's a woman mind reading thing where they want you to read their minds, or a man is being very direct, and then that person that they're being very direct with takes it and swings left field. So
Yeah.
She may think that she'll be able to change him.
say it again.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we do, because it happened to me. I'm like, I'm going to get him.
Well, explain that. Explain
I like that
explain
one.
explain that portion of what.
Well, I was in what I thought was a 3-year relationship. Met his parents,
Right.
entire family actually,
Oh.
and all of a sudden he started, slipping in the sense that wouldn't call for a week, and I'm like, what's going on? We lived together at some point,
Damn.
and it was the same way. So I asked him. I said, hey, what's going on? And he bluntly said, well, I just don't want to be with you. And I'm like, okay, so why is it that you're always contacting me, want to spend time together. And these words I will never forget. He said, you make yourself available, so why not?
Ooh.
So basically, men do what we allow them to do. So
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
That is deep.
That's
So going into that situation, the relationship, did you have expectations going in, or were you just like, you know what, it's you and I, and whatever comes, we're gonna hold on to it, we're gonna go through it together, and did he reciprocate that type of mentality?
And that's the weird part about it. He did.
But when did you see that? When did you notice that though?
Year 2.5.
Year 2.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like, again, it was weird. I just thought that, well, maybe he doesn't want to be married, because I remember us talking about getting married at some point, brought by him. The subject was brought by him. And I said, yeah, I would like to be married. I was married for 12 years, and, it wasn't that bad.
And I would say when you talk to some people, and I say some people, I'm including men and women, marriage doesn't necessarily mean monogamous. That, you have to dissect that word sometimes and see what like I could say monogamy, right? The four of us might have that same understanding of that one word, but I'm pretty sure if somebody walked in here and you're like, monogamous, oh, I'm with her. This is my girl, but I'm gonna do what I want. And there are people out here that are married to multiple people, and they call that monogamous. Like, that's a monogamous relationship amongst four people. Does that make sense?
Because you're committed to those four
situation.
That situation.
So I'm sitting here, I'm monogamous to my wife. That's the only person I want to be monogamous with on this earth.
Right.
But if you bring another man in here, or a woman that sees the world in a different light, or has on those rose-colored glasses, and they're living a beautiful life too.
Right.
Sometimes I'm like, well, God damn, you a lucky man.
Yeah.
Like, wow. You can manage that? No, they help me manage
I don't even want
household.
that headache, bro.
Yeah.
But you're calling it a headache, but they're calling it
True
a
story.
come-up.
True story.
Doesn't make sense. Like, we sitting here talking about one word, how we, like, that's why what he said plays out. Like, overseas, he hit it dead on the head. I've traveled a lot and I've seen it. Multiple wives. I've seen a lot of Muslims with multiple wives, and they're carrying it and killing it.
It's also
household is monogamous.
It's also kind of hard to even use that word, especially when you're a religious-based community.
100%.
You know what I mean? So it's like, so many people will pass judgment on others.
Yes.
But you don't know their life. You don't know their lifestyle. You don't know their history. You don't know their family dynamic. You know what I mean? What's insane to you might be perfectly sane to the next person. You know what I mean? So monogamy is, I don't even know. I mean, I haven't even heard that word used in such a long time, because
Ain't that crazy?
Things have changed somewhat. You know what I mean? Now it's like, it's not even about monogamy. It's this. It's the one thing that I hate when it comes to relationship. What do you bring to the table?
What do you bring
to the table? I bring the dishes and bro. Like, listen. Once these kids, I'm gonna call them kids because that's how they act. Because there's a lot of grown people out there that act like this. I call them kids. Once these kids, these mentally challenged people, realize this table ain't real. You know what I mean? It ain't about this. It's about that foundation.
They don't understand
that you guys. Because I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be, straight up. When I met my wife, she was more well put together than I ever was. You know what I mean?
Right.
It looked like I was that dude. You know what I mean? And I was that dude in the streets. You know what I mean? But when it came to what mattered, I learned a lot from her.
A household.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Okay. And I think when everybody asked me, because they saw me out and about, I was running clubs, nightclubs, and all that stuff, playing ball. They was like, what about her? And I was like, she just showed me I've never seen before in a female. Yeah. She showed me my future.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, she showed me my wife. You know what I mean? She showed me the mother of my child.
Yeah.
And all these other women that I was dating was just showing me the nightclub. They were showing me the nightlife. They were showing me present day.
Right.
You know what I mean? And present day could be gone like that. My wife was showing me years ahead of time, you know what I mean, and how to build.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I learned, she's probably gonna be like, why you ain't tell me that at the house? You know what I mean? But
right.
You know what I mean? But I think once, because at the end of the day, when I got with her, Like her table was half set, bro. You know what I mean? I probably brought some napkins. I bought some Hawaiian punch.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you know, so that's why I don't like this table stuff. You know what I mean? Because she learned from me, and I learned from her. My wife was a very, I would say, gullible person. You know what I mean? Like she gave everybody a chance, even when she knew they wasn't worth it. She gave them a chance. And when I came, I was like, you keep doing this, people gonna start taking advantage of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So she was a light and I was a dark, but you kind of need both.
That balance.
You know what I mean? You can't pass a day without having the sun and the moon.
Right.
You feel me? So even though she foundation wise she gave me structure, I gave her what she didn't have, and it made both of us strong.
So can I ask you this? And did you find a wife? When you met her, you said she had a foundation set. She was more stable than you were as a man. She had her kind of household set. You were still kind of in the streets. Like you had an empty apartment, but you was kicking it, enjoying yourself. Did you find yourself a wife, right?
Yeah.
I would say the same thing with my wife, right? But did she ask you to marry her, though?
Oh, so
that's like.
Okay, so that's a great question because you know, when women asking a man to marry, so it took us a while for us to get married, right? Because I felt that I wasn't ready to give her what she needed as a husband, right?
Did she ask you though?
Not formally.
Okay.
Not formally.
Okay.
But she did tell me piss or get off the pot. Basically, like she didn't be like she didn't pressure me into it.
Okay.
But we were so good at where we were at. You know what I mean? Like I got comfortable, not knowing that women want that union. You know what I mean? And they feel, and I won't say all, but some women feel like that union that's what completes their life.
I'm really happy your wife. I'm really happy your wife didn't say, "Do you want to marry me as a man?" Like as a woman and coming to you as a man, because I would have looked at you different right now.
But at the end of the day,
she might have hinted around to it, as women should do. In my opinion, like I'm an old school dude, like, and it could be my default from Christianity, like the way I was raised. I was born in the mid '70s, so I'm used to a man going to a woman and saying, like, "Will you marry me?" Right? I find it entertaining, or I find it a little odd because I'm an older guy. I'm 46 now, so I see women doing it, and I don't say anything because it's their business. Like if that relationship is built on that, so be it. Y'all go ahead and get at it. But I'm sitting here looking at a man like, bruh, like you let this woman. Like I feel a certain way about that. How you feel about it?
So I call that being conditioned. Okay. And when you're conditioned a certain way, it's hard to uncondition that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you know, when you're open and you're always finding yourself battling, like yourself is pulling on yourself. Like you don't mind it, but then you're so conditioned the way you was brought up, like, you know, some people call it morals and values. That's one thing. Okay. But being conditioned how things should be is a total different thing.
I think that's
so
what it is.
So we were brought up to be conditioned, like the man's supposed to be the provider. The man's supposed to do this. The man gotta, find his wife, and when the man is ready to marry, what if a woman's ready to marry? Okay? Why can't a woman just come in and be like, hey babe, we've been together for 60 days. I know what I want in my.
They be hitting him on the head like that.
Oh man, she probably said that on Twitter.
And so it's like sometimes people know what they want when they want them, and we put this timetable on, how long we should wait before, we move to the next step, or how long we should wait before we get married, and all of that really does come from being conditioned. Like, there's really no book that says you gotta, be with a person, because they always say, it takes a while to know somebody, but you really don't know somebody, because you can go 10 years and then you find out like, well, I never thought, you still don't know that person, but the main things that you're looking for in a person, that comes out instantly, and you know what completes you at that moment, and it's kind of like, wow.
See, for me and my wife, we ended up moving in together before we got married. Down later on in our relationship, and I felt that was the best thing for us, especially me, to see how you slept, how you woke up, how you cleaned, how you dirtied and all that stuff. Like what got you pissed off? Your breaking point, your button. Yeah, me and my wife, we went through a lot of ups and downs, you know, before we got married. And every relationship happens, whether you're
speaking to the choir, bro.
Whether you're dating, right? But I'm saying though, you know what I mean. For those listening, for whether you're dating or you're married, you're gonna go through ups and downs, right? So when I said I was waiting, like I waited a while, she literally had to be like, you know, I am thinking. There wasn't that time where I thought that if I had proposed to her, will she say yes? I knew, like there was a point where I knew if I proposed to her, she would say yes. But at the end of the day, I don't want to put any of my family business out there, but I didn't want to marry somebody and then have a kid and then us get divorced, because my parents went through it, right?
Right.
And that scares me as a man, because I know when I needed my dad, you know what I mean, he wasn't in the house.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was times where I needed both my mother and my father. Right. You know what I mean? And it was like, I need you both right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need one in the house, one on the phone. Like, I need you right here. I need you on the couch. How can you make things right for your son, you know, to get his mental across?
So this is what I would say off of that. Like, I had the same fear, because I am a divorcee. I really appreciate my first wife, my ex-wife, and I appreciate her, how she is maneuvered and co-parented with the kids, right?
Right.
So my fear came, I was in the kind of the same, it's kind of funny, you're my brother and we known each other for a long time. Right. And we did run the streets a little bit. Circles, right?
Same cloth.
So I had the same issue with my current wife.
Right.
Jamie was like, hey, what are you doing? You in my house? You've been here for a while, because it's about time to go.
Right.
It wasn't no, like, will you marry me or not? Right. It was not, are you going to ask me to marry you? Right. It was like, I would love to be a wife. I don't want to be girlfriend. Right. I'm too old for this bullshit. Right. And I can appreciate the way she did it, instead of just coming to me and saying, hey, you better ask me to marry me. Or like, there was no ultimatum. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, once you throw that ultimatum out there to a dude that grew up on struggle life, you put me in a corner.
That's a true story. And you're gonna push out. You know
I'm gonna push out.
You know what I mean? And then you regret later, because I could have been a little more sensitive.
Right. So I appreciate what you said. Like, you're informing me as a grown man. Like, hey, I'm conditioned, and like those are the things that we want to highlight on this show, man.
That's where I draw the equal opportunity thing. He needs to propose to me.
No. So okay. So talk on it. You know, let's say you're dating someone, and you know you're ready. You know what I mean? How do you, like, what do you do? Do you give him time? Do you ask him? Do you have this conversation? Do you give him hints? Like. I mean,
just like Jamie did. That's perfect. You know, it's either you take it or not, or you know, because we don't want to be. Well, me personally, I don't want to be in a relationship for years and years and then nothing. You know, it's kind of like a waste of time, maybe.
It's a learning experience though, because I'm gonna go ahead and share a little true story.
This is what we do on the show,
myself.
Man. Yeah.
Go ahead. Hey, go ahead. Hey, can you zoom in like real close?
So just like you said, you know what you want right now. There's somebody else out there that wants the same exact thing. So when you meet that person, and the goals are the same, and the mission is the same, are you going to wait a year later, or it's just going to be like, okay, let me just, figure out a little couple of pieces, make sure, look out for any, sudden red flags or whatever. And then 6 months later, like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get married. Yeah. And now people looking at you stupid, like, 6 months and you done got married. And this is where I'm finna lead down this road. A lot of people don't know this. I'm gonna be the first to say it publicly. Studio audience.
Hold on.
Do I need to
you ain't about to just give us an exclusive.
I need to take a sip of real fast, man.
Hey, I need you to pause. Don't just talk and go into it. We about to settle down. Okay. We about to listen. The 2MD crew,
man, we cool.
Listen. So you seen it first when the camera is. You right there. You seen it first on the 2-minute drill, exclusive. TJ Chatman from the TJ Chatman Show. Floor is yours, Senator.
All right. So everybody's known me for a very long time. Radio, TV personality, talk show host, MC host, red carpet, extraordinaire. I'm living the entertainment life.
Yes, you are.
I was given ultimatums by my ex-wife.
Okay.
15 years ago.
Right.
Where I'm at now, I thought I was supposed to have been there 15 years ago, but I was given an ultimatum.
Right.
And I was also conditioned that, you cleave to your wife.
Right.
So I was given the ultimatum. I told her about, what I wanted to pursue. She was like, that's fine, but you got to choose.
Oh.
It's either this, that. I chose my wife.
Right.
I
became resentful.
Okay.
It's kind of like, how can you not support me in my dreams? I supported you, and it, just to
Understand.
and to this day, like you said, I appreciate my first wife.
Right.
She has evolved. I've evolved. We're great co-parents. We're great, best friends. We have great chemistry, but I just know that she wasn't the one for the lifestyle that I'm in, because everybody can't live that lifestyle.
True.
Right.
And then part two, I got engaged. This time I learned from that. You know what? Come with me. I'm gonna put you on my show, have you as a co-host, so you can see what's happening.
Right.
So it became what is called, I thought it was just a hobby.
Okay.
Right.
Until, I got my first big break.
And it got
with,
real.
With Tom Joyner.
Okay.
Thousands of people.
Yes, sir.
Women.
Yes, sir.
Coming up. Can I take a picture? Hey, how you doing?
Right.
And then it's kind of like, oh, you was for real? Yeah.
Yes,
Did you
sir.
thought it was just a hobby that I supposed to just continue to work a 9 to 5 and no. So that was given an ultimatum, and she knew about ultimatum.
Yeah.
She knew about it the first time. And then she comes back and give me an ultimatum. I already said to myself, if this was ever to happen again, I already know what I'm gonna choose.
Right.
And it was just kind of like, it's either you ain't gotta say no more. Listen, we're gonna take care of our kids. We're gonna have a great time together. But I'm gonna pursue this.
Yes,
Right.
But at the same time, I'm gonna still be a father,
Right.
balance it out, and do that. So, I'm going through whatever, and people always like, TJ, when you gonna get married again? Yeah, I'll probably get married again, right? So, career blowing up, career going, whatever. And, I know what I want. I want a wife,
Right.
okay? And so, it happens organically. When you try to force things that...
It's supposed to.
And
Supposed
when
to.
you find self-love in yourself,
Yep.
now you understand. You find out what the common denominator was, what got you here. And once you realize that, everything else is easy peasy.
Right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the exclusive.
I'm waiting. I was like, was that it?
Because sometimes
no.
you
You know what I mean?
gotta,
I gotta
You
build
gotta,
up
you
to
gotta,
it.
you
I
gotta build up to it. I feel, hey,
All right,
look,
so-
we learning from a vet.
Show us how to
let's
do
go
this,
ahead.
baby.
So a lot of people don't know this. So the reason why I was asking you earlier about, if you already know what you want, when you meet somebody that has the same goals, same values, and already know, like, listen, why wait?
Right.
So I met this beautiful woman back in June
Okay.
2020. No, yeah, 2021, right? Yeah.
You better remember dates.
Yeah. And so, we was at, I was hosting the Michael Collier. He was here in town, and one of the guys that was the promoter, had a friend. And, it was like, hey, bro, who is this right here? And, introduced him to it, and then, like, that chemistry just instantly hit. We exchanged numbers, whatever. This was June 25th, 2021. We got married
What?
December 30th, 2021.
So you jumped,
6 months.
Jumped the broom, baby. He jumped the broom.
And so it's
Hold on,
kind
man.
of...
Hold on.
You jumped the broom on
Let me check my phone because I don't remember getting that.
You
text.
jumped the broom.
No. Listen.
But it's good. Okay.
Listen, because, no ceremony.
Okay.
What you need in Florida is, like, fill out this application.
Boom.
Right.
You're married.
There you go.
And whatever you want to do afterwards,
Are you happy?
I'm beyond happy.
Can I give you a cheers?
And you
it's
know,
only tea though. You know what I'm saying?
And you know the thing about it?
Congratulations.
Because
sir.
I realized in my life that I'm a guy that does not like to be restricted.
Right.
There you go.
When you restrict me, that's when things start. Because, like, if you put a dog in a cage and you leave the door open, that dog gonna chill. The dog can, like,
Right.
go in, go out, all I want. But the moment you close that thing, he's trying to bite and get out of it because, like, why are you restricting me? I'm not finna go out and, do all this crazy stuff or whatever.
Right.
Just don't tell me when, where, how I need to do
Because
something.
I'm loyal. Like
If you're loyal,
you're speaking
yeah.
to my soul because they know my wife, right? baby, I'm getting ready to go A, B, C, D, F, G. Okay, have fun.
That's it.
Have fun. Enjoy.
text.
She don't mess with me.
Cool.
I send her a message. Hey, this is where I am. This is who I'm with, just in case anything happens.
Yep.
And that's a beautiful thing. I'm glad you found that, man.
Yeah, man.
That's what it sounds like.
And my wife, she had to tell me, like, why you keep telling me where you at? And then it was kind of like, my apologies, because that was something that I had to go through in my previous relationships. Like, you don't believe where I'm at, whatever. Look, we got all this technology now. And it's kind of like, you can FaceTime, or I got an Android, so ain't no FaceTime.
Yeah.
But we got FaceTime on there. It ain't called FaceTime.
It's called Duo. It's called Duo. And so, be like, yeah, you see where I'm at?
They're using Facebook app to talk.
No, but it's you making a point about hitting her up and let her know where you're at. See, for me, this is. My wife was the first woman I ever dated that didn't blow up my phone ever. Like it was times I think when early on I was like I would text her like, are we good? You know what I mean? Like, are you mad at me because I didn't get one text? So for me it was
that's
like
what you were used to back
when we got closer, like it was when it was starting to get serious. All I wanted, like for each other, where are you going? Maybe who you with, we really don't care about that, but just where you're going, because if something happens,
safety reasons.
I need to know where to look.
That's my biggest concern right now.
And the only time for my wife, the only time I really, would hit her up is like when she'd be like, okay, I'm on my way home. And then like I would try to calculate the time, and if she's not there in time, babe, are you okay? I'm okay, good. Because when she would be out, because remember she's with the radio, she was with 102 Jams, all that stuff, Orlando Magic and whatnot. Orlando's a crazy town.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? So it's like
just last
I'm
night,
ready. I'm already about to go square it with somebody for my girl, for my lady. You know what I mean? Like if she
don't be
she don't gotta wake me up on the phone call. I'm ready. Like I'm laying in the bed, but I already got clothes on. You know what I mean? It's like so for that it was like, all right, just let me know where you're at. Cool. And then for me it was like, if I like, babe, I'm going out. She didn't blow me up. I don't blow her up. Because I know when I go out, I don't want to want her to, blow me up like that unless it's a worry thing. Like, where are you? Like, you was supposed to be home, 4 or 5 hours ago.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
last known location, man.
You know what I mean? So that's
important.
So that's where we're at. And then I'm telling you, it feels good. It feels good. Like, babe. And sometimes I even ask permission. That's my wife. I don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
I might be, but if I feel like she has something going on, if I don't remember, if she has something, I'm like, babe, is it cool if I do this? Because I know she said something, but I don't remember what she has planned.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll be like, is it okay?
So this morning, my wife told me some stuff she wanted to do this weekend, but she asked, and we were laying in the bed, and I was like, you ain't gotta ask. I said, you're my wife. I said, you tell me what we got, and if I have something scheduled, we'll deconflict it and find a babysitter for the little girl.
Right.
Like my daughter. So at the end of the day, I understand you asking just because it's your wife and you feel comfortable and everything. But I would, as for me, as a grown up, and as an adult, as a person with a thinking, like my individual thinking mind, I want my wife to have that understanding. I trust her 100%.
Yeah, I don't.
Does it make sense?
It's not so much like that. It's just
And-
it's just a courtesy. You know what I mean? Because
I send her my calendar.
As you should. Yeah.
I send her my calendar.
Right.
That's my wife. That she'll ask me like, "What do you have going on?" She'll put a calendar on the fridge. You know what I mean?
That's good.
But
stuff.
sometimes I don't always look at it. You know what I mean? So it's like if I feel like, man, she might have something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or maybe she doesn't have anything, but she has something in her head
And just forgot
that she wants to go hang out with friends.
This is what monogamy looks like.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
so that's why I asked. I'm like, we don't always do that. But it was like, is it okay? You know what I mean? Do you have anything planned? My wife, she does it all the time. Like, you have anything planned?
Right.
You have anything planned?
That's
And I'm
what it
like,
is.
and I tell her no, but my life is spontaneous. You know what I mean? I have
Things just
work.
pop up.
I have football. You know what I mean? I have this. I have a little bit of that. And so does she. So, and we have a child.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like I try my hardest to be cognizant of, all right, dude, you can't always bounce. Your wife might want to bounce too and do something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Just
So
can't do that.
So
Right.
that's why when I ask, it's because I think there was something there planned. I just didn't look. And so that way she can inform me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Makes
But
sense.
most of the time I'll be like, all right, babe, I'm going. I'm going to meet the crew down. At Coronas. You know what I mean?
But we was supposed to been at such and such later on this evening at 5 o'clock.
Right.
That's
Oh, you know what? Oh man, okay, you know what?
That's on you though.
It's on me. 'Cause I forgot.
Forgot. You know what I mean?
I forgot.
Now, my wife's gonna look at this and be like, you putting on for everybody. You putting on, and then she gonna go ahead and edit this. But dude, I like this conversation, and I mean, I think it's good for the show. I think it's good for people to hear. You know what I mean? Because dude, man, you put on podcasts. You listen, podcasts here and there. It's just a lot of negativity going on that they want to spark up. It's a lot of men like the war of the sexes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
War of the races. War of this. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be so negative every time you put it on, but at the end of the day, that's what's selling, right?
That's what's selling.
For these young bucks, that's what's selling.
Right.
But throwing down some knowledge, because we're in a society right now where knowledge is it's nothing to these people. You know what I mean? To a lot of people. Like knowledge of self-worth.
It's a lot of opinion-based situations.
It's extremely
a lot of opinion-based podcasts going on out there, and I don't see nothing wrong with it.
This is two
it's
to
opinion.
a point.
It's a point.
We are two to a point.
But there's a little bit of facts, and if three men can sit here and say this is where I'm at in my relationship as experienced grown men that have been through all that crazy mess with trying to figure out who's a thotty and who's a naughty. Like, you understand what I'm saying? And if three grown men can sit here and say this is where I'm at, and I communicate effectively with my wife, but she's not locking me down to some certain standard or her expectations. She's allowing me to live to my fullest expectations, which is what I see is happening right now.
Being who you are.
Be who you are.
Right.
If you young ladies can understand there's men out there and you're not trying to lock them and put them in a little box because they provide for you, right? I would say, understand, let them grow and help them grow and just assist them to get to where they're going. That's how I see it.
Well,
I don't think that's an opinion. I think that's a fact for somebody to be happy.
What do you think? Like, as far as, the freedom in a relationship, you know what I mean?
A monogamous relationship.
Monogamous relationship, the freedom to come and go as you please, just the freedom, period. You know what I mean? Not to even come and go as you please, just to do what you want, but to have some level of respect to whatever decision that you make, you got that person on your mind. Because whatever decision I make, my wife is always on my mind. She might not think that because sometimes I try to be Brody, at the crib. But I don't make many decisions without her coming to my mind. Now it's her and my son, and I believe she's the same way. But for expectations, like what?
I think that as a couple, we would both have to realize that if you step, once you leave the house, you're representing me and the family.
Right.
And the same with me. So I will behave in a way that,
But have fun in a respectful way.
Yes.
And like, I'm in the entertainment world, like, so my wife knows she know, it's about a balance. Cause like once I leave here, I'm going back home to get dressed for, for a day party for, the Orlando, Cigar Fest. And so she she knows about it.
The Cigar Fest.
And it's like she wants to be there, but she can't. She already has the VIP pass. If you want to come, you know where I'm at. Let me know if you're coming. If not, it's okay. And so at the end of the day, it's like she knows I'm out here working, having a good time. Sure. People look at my career and be like, man, you always out there having a fun time. You out there running the streets. I'm not running the streets. This just so happened to be my career. And that's where a lot of people don't understand, or should I say not people, a lot of women that I've come across don't understand. It's kind of like, you just running these streets and da-da-da, and, all these women out here. Okay, your point is what?
Right.
So I'm going to say this, in the entertainment industry, right? You understand, like, I'm gonna go out here and do my job and go out here and enjoy myself because it's part of my job. But nothing's ever coming back to my house to disrupt my household. There ain't gonna be Jada and Will Smith entertainment.
I think that's
red table talk about my life.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just self-implied. You know what I mean? Like that's something that we don't have to worry about. But what we do have to worry about is time. We've been. I mean, when you have conversations and you're talking to friends and family, you could talk for days, and the days will go by. You're not even, realize what was happening. We are pressed for time. There is something that I do want to go. So at 2-minute drill, we have a portion of the drill where we take a topic from the audience and we have 2 minutes uninterrupted to speak on it. Since we are pressed for time, we're going to go straight to you. All right. Okay. We're going to let you kick it off, and maybe we get one more in before we go. But I'm gonna set you up with one, and let's
this.
Okay, so this is from Candace St. Louis from Trinidad and Tobago. So
Okay.
Candace St. Louis writes, what about the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida? What's all of that about? Because, you know, she's from Trinidad and Tobago. I believe she may be living in the States. I don't know, but that's where she's from, and she might want to know your 2 minutes on that. Go.
Wow. With Florida, man, you never know. I mean, Florida is what it is. Everybody flocks here. You know, whether you're from, you know, New York, whether you're from Cuba, whether you're from Puerto Rico, from the islands, everybody loves coming to Florida regardless. And with San Francisco being what San Francisco is known for, and now it's being passed here in Florida, it's like, don't say it, don't do it. It's kind of like, you know what? All right. What about us? Okay, cool. I'm fine with it. I got a lot of, I know I can't say it because the bill just got passed. So I have a lot of friends who, you know, who fit that bill.
Right.
You know, I'm cool. Hey, if that's how you want to live your life, hey, listen, high five. You know, I just know that it doesn't, you know, live over here. Mm-hmm. And they just have that respect to knowing that. Yeah. And again, it does come from, you know, conditioned, being a certain way, religious, and, you know, growing up. So, you know, some people still frown upon it. But me personally, it's always an individual thing when it comes to that. So I have no problem with saying it, but I mean, sometimes I will say it.
And you that was your 2 minutes, bro. I think you did all right.
It's quick.
That was quick, man.
Quick
It's
and
quick
dirty.
because, but when you're speaking on it, it's you know, and you have some knowledge. You want to hear what somebody's talking, and like you want to dive in more. But that's all we got. But you know, TJ, my brother, man, we've gone back. I don't know how long, man. It's been a long time, man.
Cadillac.
You know what I mean? And I'm blessed to have a platform to reciprocate the love that you showed me on your show.
Yes.
You know, where you can meet my family as I met yours.
Yes.
You know, 4, 5, 6, 7, years ago. I wasn't even that long. Probably like 3, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But dude, like, I really love the fact that I was able to get you on. I love the fact that you actually had time in your busy schedule to come check us out. So before we go,
Thank you.
let you know, go ahead and talk to the camera. Let them know when, where, and how they can see your show.
So you guys can tune in every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. on the Cultural TV. You can also watch the show stream live on our Facebook page. It's the TJ Chatman Show, and Chatman is spelled with a T, not a P. So it's CHAT as in Tom, MAN. And listen, like I told the cast earlier, the best is yet to come. Let's go.
The best is yet. He's talking about us when he's talking about the best is yet. He's talking about the 2 minute drill.
We here.
You know what I mean? But listen, I love the show. You know, hopefully we can do some collaborations down the line.
Absolutely.
You know, 2MD and the TJ Chatman Show.
Let's do it.
You know, I know you guys are looking and you were missing one where JP's out on assignment. We sent him to the Washington D.C. to fix that stuff up. No, I'm just playing. JP's out. You know what I mean? You know, JP, we'll see you when you come back. You know, safe travels. And once again, to thank Full Sail for the opportunity to have us here. To thank everyone who showed up, who blessed us and showed us love. Thank you for the TJ Chatman Show. As my co-hosts, Rosa Sangria and Carl Jones. Listen, we love you. Thank you. 2MD.
Appreciate the questions.
Thank you.